Welcome, Magic fans, to Magic or Tragic. Thanks for listening. Please make sure you continue to subscribe, like, or dislike, and comment below. My last podcast, I did a quick shout out to Philip Rossman Reich of Orlando Magic Daily Locked On Magic for being someone you could count on demand for Magic news. Well, I wanted to give a few other people a shout out for being a big part of the Magic that I appreciate. And one of them is Stuff. Stuff is probably been one of the best things going for the Magic the past couple of years. He's been winner of Mascot of the Year recently. He helped AG win, but not really win, the dunk contest. And he's also kind of funny to me, sincerely, so I appreciate that. And he's also been on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Like, how many current Magic players or future Magic players do you ever think will be on the Tonight Show? The next person I want to give a shout out to is Cori. If you've been a Magic fan for a while, you've seen Cori being dancer at Magic games. If you stream online, you'll see Cori a lot during games. If you're on OrlandoMagic.com, you'll see Cori, and you'll also see her hosting a lot of shows or events or interviewing players and dancers all the time. So basically, we just love to see Cori. So let's give her her due for about 40 seconds or so. Okay, thanks Stuff, Cori, and the Magic dancers for all that you do for the Orlando Magic. Okay, back to basketball. I wanted to talk about the starting five for the Orlando Magic for the upcoming season. Now, before I begin to talk about this, my disclaimer, this is just my starting five, my opinion. Do I think the Magic are really going to go with this starting five? 99% chance, no. Okay. I'll also get into the depth of this team with my starting five and a few players to talk about. But number one, starting at point guard, Elfrid Payton. A lot of you are like, what? No. But, I mean, Elfrid is still the best point guard on this team, and he's still young. If Elfrid Payton possessed more shooting, he'd be a different player altogether. There's still some other things that kind of irk me, but I won't get into that. But, you know, I want to talk about his positives. He does have a good motor. You'd like him to be a little bit more effective defensively, but I strongly think that his defense suffers because of his energy and aggressiveness that he uses on offense, if that makes any sense. He can make plays, and he does have length. He has a lot of traits our current management likes. I'm sure they're very curious about Payton and why he has not, in my opinion, he has not progressed much since his rookie year. Some could argue his first year was his best year. But nonetheless, he's still the best point guard on our team, and put up or shut up time for Elfrid Payton. So he's starting at point guard. Number two, our two guard, Jonathan Simmons. A lot of you are like, no, Ross or Fournier. I like Ross and Fournier, but I'll get to them. Jonathan Simmons, because I feel like you could be getting a player at the right time. I think he's about 26 or 27 years old. He's not that young, but in NBA experience-wise, he's kind of young. And he could just be ready to break out. This just could be good timing for him. And I want to give him as much confidence by putting him in the starting lineup. And he does bring some things that Ross and Fournier do not bring. He's going to bring an attitude and defensive tenacity from the tip of the ball. And we need that in Orlando. I think we have a soft team. And he can change a little bit of that. This guy he's an attacker, and he plays like he wants it. And that's some of the things I like about him. So I would like to see Jonathan Simmons start at the 2 guard. At the 3, and this is probably where it's most unrealistic, but this is my podcast. I want to see Jonathan Isaac at 3, starting for the Orlando Magic. I know we've got more proven players in Fournier and even Ross to an extent, or even Simmons to an extent at the 3. However, I don't have much expectations for this year, and I feel like we need to give Jonathan Isaac as much experience as quick as possible. I know his body's not ready yet, but it's kind of like, so what? Let him grind during the season, let him get experience, and just let's see him play. And he brings something right now that a lot of NBA vets at the 3 position don't have, and that's height. He's 6'10", so you can't teach height. And one thing he's gonna do for you right now that Fournier can't do is he's gonna bring so much defense and intangibles right now that this team needs. So I can deal with the growing pains. And again, if it doesn't work out, you can go to Fournier or Ross or whomever. But I think we have nothing to lose. So I want to see Jonathan Isaac starting at the 3. Your power forward is going to be, of course, Aaron Gordon. There's no surprise here. It's going to be his year. It's supposed to be his year. We want to see it all come together for him. And I gotta admit, it was a disappointment for me to watch him go out the way he did in the second dunk contest. I thought that if he would have found a way to win that trophy, which it seems like the NBA wanted him to do, they wanted him to win that trophy, that it would have kind of changed his career a little bit. And I don't know how much that affected him, but everybody likes Aaron Gordon. Everybody can see his potential and what he can be. And, Aaron Gordon's going to be our power forward. Okay, our starting center is going to be Nikola Vucevic. He got a little better last year defensively. He is a shooter, which is something we don't have too much of in the current roster. That's probably what y'all are saying now. We don't have any shooters. I get to that. But Vucevic, to me, is not a bad player. He's a box player. However, with this current starting lineup, you need Vucevic in there to provide some stability as far as scoring and a little bit of shooting and whatnot. We actually want to see Vucevic take a lot more threes this year. Okay, so let me address the shooting. There's not a lot of shooting in my starting lineup. Peyton, Simmons, Isaac, Gordon, and Vucevic. But what they do bring is a lot of flexibility, a lot of defense, a lot of activeness, and they all score. Besides the three-point shot, they all score in many different ways. Okay? They all can affect the game in many different ways, probably with the exception of Vucevic. All right? But, he's a stretch 5, pretty much center. So, you need him in that starting lineup. But everybody else, they can affect the game in so many different ways. They're going to be good in transition. They should be good defensively. They should be good switching. And they're going to get balls on alley-oops and dunks and slashing and putbacks and things like that. Let me tell you, if you pair Peyton with Simmons, one of my things on Peyton was, I thought teams like to cheat on the wing when Peyton was in at point guard, and they wanted Peyton. It's like they seduced him to penetrate. Okay, so teams would cheat on the wings, and it was like 50-50 whether Payton was going to make a play at the rim or not. With Simmons, if Payton is being aggressive and penetrating and whatnot, and Payton has to swing the ball or basically get the ball out to the wing, well, if teams were cheating on the wing, Fournier and Ross didn't have a chance. Those guys aren't playmakers. You kind of have to set them up. Simmons is different. Okay, if teams are going to cheat on the wing, right, and they're going to overplay the pass outs to the wing from Payton, Simmons will make you pay. All right, Simmons will shoot it. However, if he doesn't want to shoot it, he will make you pay by putting the ball on the floor. And he's also shown that he can make the pass off the dribble when he's putting the ball on the floor. He will make you pay. That's why I like him next to Payton. So, I could go on and on with the roster, but I want to get to the depth of, the starting five of being Payton, Simmons, Isaac, Gordon, Gucci. That means coming off the bench, which was terrible last year, you have Shelvin Mack at point guard, Terrence Ross at the shooting guard, Fournier at the 3, and then either Gordon or Isaac at the power forward. That they'll continue minutes there, and then you bring in Biyombo as your center. This is your shooting lineup. Okay, Shelvin Mack. Now, people don't regard him as the best shooter. Okay, but Shelvin Mack will shoot it, and if you're not on him, he will make it. And sometimes he will make it even if you're on him. And not only will he shoot it, okay, he can create other type of shots for himself. He's pretty crafty when it comes to his offensive playmaking. So you have to respect Shelvin Mack from the three-point line down. Okay, he's that type of player offensively at the point guard position. So because you have to do that, now it frees up Ross and Fournier more to do what they're comfortable doing. Okay, which is running off of screens or sitting on the corners, waiting for the dish out for the 3. Okay, teams can't cheat as much on the wings anymore if Mack is playing well at the point guard. So I think Shelvin Mack, Terrence Ross, and Evan Fournier go real nice together. And then you swing in either Isaac or Gordon at the power forward, and then Biyombo, because, this is not necessarily what you would call your defensive lineup. This is your shooting lineup, so to speak. Your offensive lineup, so to speak, and Biyombo will balance that all out on the back end, especially if he's playing beside Isaac on the back end. If you have on your second team minutes, Shelvin Mack, Terrence Ross, Fournier, Jonathan Isaac, and Bismack Biyombo, or even Aaron Gordon and Bismack Biyombo, that's a pretty formidable second team. That's a second team you trust to be able to do a lot of things, okay? So that's your depth. Now, you still have players that I haven't mentioned. And then, of course, Mario Hezonja, who's my little pet favorite. Well, how does Mario Hezonja fit in? That's interesting to me, because on the outside looking in, he doesn't fit in. Which is why I think that if the Magic are building for the future, you could see maybe a trade with Ross or Fournier. A trade that would probably bring in another big and possibly give Hezonja the minutes he needs for this staff, coaching and front office, to get a good look at him and figure out if they want to continue to invest in him in the future. Because I know Hezonja has the skills this front office likes. I know they're intrigued by him. Anyone who's seen Hezonja play, it boggles me why he hasn't been on the floor more, but maybe it's more about Hezonja. So don't be surprised if you see a trade with Ross or Fournier to get Hezonja some playing time in that second unit. And if not, then Hezonja is just going to have to beat somebody out. However, the overall picture, even with someone like Georges Hunt, who's a very versatile player, he would even add depth if he's part of your second rotation. So that's just my opinion on what I would like to see with the starting five. Is it going to work out that way? Probably not. But let me know what you think and what your starting five would like to be. Post that in the comment. And again, I appreciate everyone who has subscribed, liked, and commented on all these podcasts. So please continue and go Magic.